Welcome to the third part of this video series where I'm upgrading the electrical system, or at least adding an electrical system to my pop-up camper that has nothing. This is the third video. If you've missed the first two videos, I'll leave a link right up here somewhere. The first video was all about the battery, this Redodo battery right here. The second video was about a 2000 watt inverter. And in this third video, we're adding a solar charge controller. So let's get right to it. Hey everybody, it's Chris from FamilyGeekery, and today we're going to be adding a Redodo 40 amp MPPT solar charge controller to this system that I've been working on to upgrade my camper. Now, if you remember it in the last video, we were talking about hooking up this battery here, which is a 12.8 volt, 165 amp hour lithium iron phosphate battery from Redodo, and we hooked that up to a 2000 watt inverter. We tested that all out and it worked great. We're going to mount that here on this board. And since that last video, I've added this back section here, this back upright, which we're going to mount this MPPT. It's going to allow us to get everything onto one little board here that I can slide in and out of the camper, and allow some pathways here for the cables from everything to pass through and tuck behind the whole wood thing here. So that's going to mount about right there, and should all work. It works in my brain. Hopefully it works in real life too. So I've taken the battery and the inverter out of the way just so we can talk about the MPPT here. This is a 40 amp solar charge controller that can work with either 12 volt or 24 volt batteries. And I want to thank Redodo again for sending this out for my review and for this installation. So the first half of this video is going to be in here talking about this and how we're going to hook it up and what it's going to be capable of. And then if all goes right, I've got a camping trip this weekend. The second half of this video, you'll see this in the camper, in the pop-up, and it'll actually be functioning. So 12 volt or 24 volt, it'll work with several different chemistries. It defaults to 12 volt lithium iron phosphate, so we don't even have to change any of the settings. The book that comes with it gives you step-by-step instructions on how to use the buttons here to change the settings in the menu, but I think we're going to be good to go right out of the box. We've got several connections down here which are screw terminals, and it comes with both mounting screws, whether you're going to be installing it in wood or drywall. It's got some heat shrink to label your cables, and it's got some crimp downs here so you don't have to put bare wire up into here. You can crimp these, I think they're called ferrules, on there, and it gives you a better connection at the screw terminal. So of the 6 screw terminals we have, we've got 2 here, positive and negative for your PV input, or basically your solar. You've got a positive and negative for the battery, and then we've got a positive and negative for the load. So how this works is basically you hook up your solar panels, it comes into here, it creates the right charging voltage, and then sends that out to the battery and charges that battery. The load is just a convenient hookup for very small amperage loads. Most people don't use them for anything. You definitely don't want to hook up your inverter to that. You want to hook your inverter straight up to the battery itself. Now, one thing that doesn't usually come with these charge controllers is the wiring or fuses or anything, so you want to make sure you get the right size wires. They recommend a 7 gauge max on these screw terminals, and they recommend about a 7 gauge wire to both the battery and to the solar. Now, as far as how much solar this thing can take in, it'll take a voltage up to 100 volts, which is great. I'm just going to be using this with some portable panels while I'm camping, and those won't be anywhere near 100 volts. But if you did have some permanent panels up on the roof of your camper or RV, then you may get up to that 100 volts if you start putting like 4 panels in series. But I think mine's going to be somewhere in like the 30 volt range for a 400 watt panel. So as long as you're under 100 volts, you're completely fine with your PV input. And for a 12 volt battery, this is good for up to 600 watts max input. So if you put 600 watts of solar into here, it's going to charge your battery somewhere around 13, 14 volts or so, upwards to 40 amps. So you're going to get probably around 500 watts, I would guess, average charge to your battery. But like I said, I'm going to be using a 400 watt panel. It'll be well below that 400 watts, probably depending on shading. And I'll just be able to get, maybe 200 to 300 watts going into the battery. That's all I really need. So yeah, that's basically all you need to know. It's pretty simple. Give it some solar. It provides the voltage to charge your battery. Change some settings if you need to for either 24 volt or if you're using lead acid batteries. But other than that, it's as close to plug and play as you can get. We've got some lights over here that once I get this thing installed, I'll take a look at. You got a light here that is an indicator for your PV, showing that it does sense that there is some voltage coming in from your solar panels. It's got a light for the battery saying that it's sending something out to the battery, a light for the load saying that it sees a load, and then looks like maybe an error light of some sort. So let me go ahead and get this thing all put together, mount it on the board, get the rest of the parts in here. I'm going to throw it in the camper, and hopefully the next time you hear me talking, this will all be installed in my pop-up. Okay, I lied. I forgot to talk about the temperature sensor. It does come with a temperature sensor, and this plugs in right underneath here. And all that does basically for your lithium batteries is it makes sure that it's a safe enough temperature, ambient temperature to charge your lithiums. Now, you don't want to charge your lithiums if they're way too cold or below freezing. This particular battery is a low temp battery, so it gives you a little leadway on that. But basically it gives you some magic tape, they call it. You take this temperature sensor, tape it to the battery, and it tells the charge controller here if it's a safe enough temperature to start sending a charge down through the battery terminals and start charging that battery. All right, let's get it put together. Let's go camping. All right, so here we are in the camper, and I'm going to show you what I got set up here. I don't have this pushed all the way back yet, but if you can see this area right here underneath the one little tiny cabinet that I do have, one little tiny countertop that I do have, is where that refrigerator was. So now I've got my battery, inverter, solar controller all mounted up on this wooden thing that I made, and it slides right in. Now the battery, I did not mount that battery down. I know I'll probably get questions about that, but my plan is to install the battery in once I get camping somewhere, and then when I'm done camping, I'll take the battery out, put it back into the tongue box where it sits nice and safely for the travel so it's not rattling around. And I don't think while I'm sitting here camping, this is going to move at all. So I've just got this all wired up. I've got the connections going out the back, which you probably can't see, but I've got solar cables coming out, going out of the back of the camper. I've got the battery hooked up to the solar controller. I do have the display powered up. I've got the two lights there on the right. The top one, probably hard to see the image of, but that's the solar. That's just saying, yes, there is solar coming in. And then the second one is the battery saying, yes, I've hooked this up to a battery. So once you apply power by hooking the battery up to the solar controller, the display will come on. That allows you to go ahead and make any settings that you need to and changes to your voltage or your battery chemistry. And we are ready to go. Now I've got the inverter turned off because what I want to show you right now is the nice thing about this whole setup is because this battery is Bluetooth, I can see all the power coming in and leaving the battery with the app itself. I don't need to have a Bluetooth capable solar controller. I don't have to have a Bluetooth capable inverter. I can see everything right here. Now it is overcast and early morning right now, so I don't have a whole lot of solar coming in. But I will show you on the app real quick that, yes, the light says that there's solar. And in the app here, we can see, it'll come up here a second. Every now and then, we see the voltage of the battery itself. But every now and then, the current will jump up to about 1 amp. And it'll show you a little bit of power. So let me wait for that to happen. All right, and of course, as soon as I start recording, that's not going to show anything. But I'll superimpose it here. When it does happen again, it's truly just ambient light, and it's only getting like 1 amp in, which would be about 13 watts. Now that will come in here as positive power coming to the battery. That's saying that it's charging the battery, and we can see we got a state of charge of 54% right now. So that would be, like I said, like 13 watts now. But with that 400 watt panel out there, I could get up to 400 watts. And if you had the right panel configuration, this solar controller can handle up to 40 amps or 600 watts, whichever you hit first. So let's go ahead and get the inverter turned on so we can see actually the power flowing out of the battery. And I've got the inverter hooked up to this little tower thing here. Now this is going to sit on top of this little counter, give me some places to plug in. The current rating of that little cheap plastic tower there is probably 10 amps or so. So I'm not going to hit the 2000 watts that I'm capable of, but this just gives me an easy way to know that I'm not going to overdraw anything. But what I do have plugged in there right now is this EcoFlow Wave 2 portable air conditioner. And as soon as I turn on this inverter, it's going to start pulling power for the air conditioner. And it's also going to start pulling some power to charge this battery down at the bottom too. So let's go ahead and use the control here to turn the inverter on. And let's see what we can see. Showing an output here of 830 watts. Now the air conditioner did just kick on. I've got another fan pointed towards me and this little charger here, which is charging a couple things for me. So all that just turned on right here. Got 830 watts coming out. And if we look at the app again. All right, so you probably noticed that something does not look right here. Now, while I was filming this, I was using a camera that has like a 2-inch screen, and I'm focused on that screen to make sure that I have everything in frame. But it wasn't until I stopped the recording and noticed that, yeah, there's a hose here, and that's the hose for my EcoFlow Wave 2. And it is draining right onto my inverter. There may have been a lot of cursing that happened at this point, but let's go ahead and get back to the video. We can see you're drawing 72.7 amps, 922 watts. So that's the power coming out of the battery, going through the inverter, losing a little bit of efficiency there, and then supplying 830 watts to our actual load. Now, if I did have 400 watts coming in, then this would still show the same amount of power coming out. But the power here, I believe, would be offset because the current would be a combination of the outgoing current and the incoming current. And let's say we had 400 watts coming in, we'd show, instead of 900, it might show 550 watts coming out of the battery. But that is the whole setup right here: battery, inverter, solar charge controller on a little wooden sled, which has the sliders. I can slide that right in, and we are good to go. All right, so I think that's going to wrap it up for this video. Thank you again to Redodo for sending out this solar controller and the other products here to make this whole project a success. If you have a question about any of these products, I'm going to leave them all linked down in the description below, but also throw something down in the comments below if you have specific questions, and I'll be happy to answer anything I can. I hope this video was helpful for you. I hope you got something out of it. If you did, I appreciate a thumbs up. That helps out the channel. Go ahead and check out the rest of the channel. Got lots of reviews on portable power, like portable power stations, solar power, all kinds of nifty stuff, and then a plethora of geeky stuff as well. That's going to wrap it up for this video. I thank you as always for watching. Until next time, peace out and geek out.